Night. It's time. We are here in Columbus, and it is ready. We're as ready as we're going to be for some Smashmouth Saturday Night. It's your boys in the booth, Skip Lloyd and Commissioner back. How are you doing tonight, back?
I am back and ready for some freaking football, man. It's been a long wait. Preseason is here, but we are ready to get fired up.
That's right. And we have got ourselves a Nexus Conference champion playing their first preseason game of the year against, well, not that. No sort of champion here in Columbus at the Castle. But we have got quite the kickoff in store for you tonight, so it's time. We've got some viewers in the house. Are you ready to kick this thing off?
Oh, absolutely. Let's get it going, especially here at the Castle.
Well, then, without further ado, I guess it's time that we kick this thing away. And here we go. We're off and underway here in Columbus. Going to return it. Looks like Ian Orgy, but only getting out to about the 10. Look out.
Yeah, and Ian Orgy is one of those guys I'm excited to see. He is a day one starter as a rookie, and he is going to make some noise this year.
Absolutely, and speaking of some players, we've got Kenny Landry, a bit of a journeyman quarterback on the last year of his deal here in Columbus, and is he just keeping the seat warm for somebody like Kyler Knight? Well, he's throwing early, but way overthrown there, back.
Yeah, and this is the problem with Kenny Landry is he takes too many chances. He's hit or miss. He's going to have a great game, or he's going to have a game that makes you think he's a tight end out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Now 2nd and 10 out of the shotgun. Landry does have time, but not
He's going down.
Bagged, body bagged right there. That's big Juan Baker getting a sack from the interior.
That was insane there by Juan Baker. Great play, and you see he just rips through the block. 2 of them in the backfield. And what a play by the defense, making some noise here early.
Absolutely. Landry is going to be in the shadow of his own goalpost here as they take a 3rd and 18. Hopefully they just run it up the gut and live to play another day.
You know this is a run up the gut.
Yeah.
What if it would have went 99 yards like Owens did?
I was going to say, Owens for the Bombers showed us a little bit of that, also wearing 39, so it could have been a good omen for Hayward. Meanwhile, Crusaders going to punt it out of their own end zone. That's a deep one. Flips it back to about the 40, and he's immediately brought down around the 45, and here comes the face. Tell us about Smokey Smith.
Smokey Smith, the face, in big ol' air quotes, for the Football Rivals League. You see, he's an 87 overall, 81 speed, 90 awareness. He has came a long way since his North Carolina State days. But let's see if he does, as the chat has said, throws 3 interceptions in the first quarter.
Well, we're about to find out. But first things first, he's handing it off and only getting a couple there. I believe number 2 is Pollard now because they made an agreement to let Neo Judkins wear number 1.
Yeah, we'll see Neo Judkins, the one, come out in number 1 in the second quarter. But for right now, Smokey's going to take a shotgun snap over the middle, and that's his game right there. That's where Smokey Smith is in his element, when he's just taking 3 to 5 step drops, hitting a guy over the middle, or taking the shot downfield if it's open, because he does underthrow the ball a lot.
That's true. Whoa, talking about a moonshot there.
He's apparently been doing some workouts and just wanted to make sure nobody could catch that one.
Showing off that arm strength. We've got a 2nd and 10 from just outside the 40-yard line in the shotgun. It looks like he's bringing a receiver in motion, trying to escape the rush, gets it off, but just barely avoiding the sack. 3rd and 10.
Juwan Black is a beast. If you do not know anything about Juwan Black, put him on your stat sheets and watch him all year.
Absolutely. The ageless wonder, and wow, Smith hits a wide open Orlando Richards. That looks like a pickup of around 21, 22 yards right there.
And that's what I was talking about right there. Anything in that 12 to 15 yard range, Smith is golden as he hands it off up the middle for nothing. But that little 12 to 15 yard range, as you see Black back there in the backcourt again.
He's going to be hard to bring down this year, or it's going to be easy for him to bring others down. Juwan Black, he may be a crafty veteran, but he still knows ball. 10-year pro.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's going to be in all the awards and all the stat leaders columns by the end of the year. And just take a moment to recognize, look at these Crusaders.
They look sharp. Let's see if they can play as sharp.
Amazing. Oh, as he runs it up the middle.
That's Neo Judkins getting a first down.
There's the one getting his first down unofficially.
You can see they're in field, or not field goal, they're in touchdown range here inside the 10, first and goal from around the 8-yard line. Hands it to Pollard, trying to fight forward, only getting a couple.
And a minute ago, also Tomlinson carried the ball for the Dukes as they're spreading the wealth around.
Absolutely. You cannot have enough running backs in this league. We know injuries are real as they're fighting forward, and that is Pollard, or Tomlinson, sorry.
That was Tomlinson,
right just short.
Off the right side, and he gets stuffed helmet to helmet at the goal line.
Third and goal out of the shotgun. Smokey looking in the back of the end zone. He's got him. Touchdown!
Down!
Albuquerque, the face, showing his face card here early, hitting Beecham for the touchdown.
That was a great play on the money in the back of the end zone. What a play by the freaking face of the league, unofficially.
Smokey Smith engineering quite the opening drive there. You think they let R.J. Ward handle it from here? Is Walt Shelby going to let Smokey at least play out the first quarter?
As much as Shelby's talk, or as much as Smokey's talked this offseason, I would make him play every minute that he can this season, or in this game. Ooh, not a good kickoff return.
Yeah, they've got Orgy, the rookie, back there on returns both times, only getting out to about the 10. Not good field position. They're going to struggle again to get out of the shadow of their own end zone.
Yeah, and the Crusaders here, they need to, right here what they're doing, they need to come out wide and let Landry disperse this ball. That's where he lives. As he does, I was about to say, he throws on the run pretty well. Not to the opposite side like that. They need to get him in motion, get him a receiver in motion going across the field, and let Landry live out there in the open.
Absolutely. Now, GM head coach Gary Pierre has kind of gone on record with the media in Columbus, not exactly taking shots at Kenny Landry, but you saw that Mike Terricoat article on League HQ about whether or not Landry or Knight is really the future at quarterback, or with so many guys that could be on the trade block as far as quarterbacks go, to a guy like Glenn Huntington or Ethan Hill, guys who have been displaced by younger talents. Do they maybe end up seeing some time here in Columbus before the season's over?
Yeah, you never know what could happen there. And I mean, I'm good with starting Knight and letting him get some stats and get, be able to upgrade at the end of the season after a good or a bad season. It could be, it's a hit or miss. Let him try.
Absolutely.
Let him see what he can do.
The next year's quarterback class should be stacked, so why not roll the dice on a guy this year versus trading for somebody?
I don't have, you can put me on record saying this, I don't have the Crusaders as being a top 10 team this year. So they're going to get a good draft pick this year.
Yeah, I mean, they went 7-10 last season, missed the playoffs, so clearly they were, on the outside looking in. I don't know if they did have a strong draft. I don't know if they've done enough to really turn the corner in a very tough Apex North conference.
Yeah, and I know our friend Dooley Jr., he was looking at taking over the Crusaders and just said it was too much work, basically, in the end, too much work to rebuild the whole offense. So he does like a running game, so that's why he chose the Wildcats. And Smokey's getting chased in the backfield.
I was going to say, speaking of running, Smokey Smith on the run there as he gets brought down for a 9-yard loss.
That was a great play by the defense of the Crusaders.
Absolutely bagged. Bag them, tag them. They're punting it away now as Mark Bowden making the most of his snaps and getting an early sack here in the first quarter.
Sure Smokey doesn't get those tendons and little fractures going. He's got to stay safe and healthy.
Yeah, that's something to consider. Some GMs have actually opined, that's a SAT word for you, opined as to whether or not they should potentially bench some of their starters during the preseason. And here we go, just what I was talking about, injury. That's Callaway walking off the field now, and you don't want to see that week 1 of the preseason especially. So is it possible some GMs bench some of their better players? We've heard Ronnie Leake in Buffalo may not see a ton of snaps through the preseason. His snaps were limited Thursday night, or the other night, Friday night.
Especially as we go on into week 2 and 3, where they go from, basically whatever week it is, that's how many quarters the starters play. So, as we go along, they're going to get heavier play. But do you let them go back, or do you let them sit and just get rusty?
Yeah, absolutely. Decisions you got to make. Nice pass on the run there by Kenny Landry. He's like we said, a journeyman quarterback. He's competent, but maybe the type of guy you'd rather spot duty as a backup, as a mentor, than really a starter. Feeling the pressure, the Dukes bringing the heat. Tip ball, it's intercepted. Ticking right near the 50. Incredible play by DeAndre Gregory.
And that's what we're talking about. He's trying to force this too hard, trying to show he's got some gas left in the tank for the coaches. It's like he's just not doing it.
Yeah, you can hear the boo birds now. He tips it to himself. What a play by Gregory. Heads up, certainly one of the premier cornerbacks in this league, and Smokey Smith going to run right back out there, see if they can punch in another touchdown before his night is over.
Hey, Smokey, go that way. Don't go backwards.
That's right, forward, not back. There's only one back tonight, and he's in the booth.
Absolutely. There's good blocking here on this run.
Shiftiness. Tomlinson, a little spin-a-rooney.
That was one of the most exciting and longest-lasting 6-yard gains you'll ever see.
Yeah, absolutely. Staying in this condensed formation, looks like they're definitely lining up for a little bit more power run, and that's exactly what they do, falling just short of the sticks there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to talk with Coach Shelby after the end of this game, or after this week of preseason, to see what playbook and style they're running here, because this does not look like the normal Dukes offense.
As he throws
taking a shot.
Ooh, Mitchell deep, but broken up on the play by Nash. Yeah, I was going to say, they were showing some 13 personnel a minute ago.
On 4th and inches.
Fakes it, finds the receiver. That's Clint Snyder. Hard to miss, all 6'7" of him coming over the middle.
Yeah, Clint Snyder, he's one of my top 3 players in the league right now. Under 3 years of experience. This is his 2nd year. He was a rookie last year. Oh, right up the gut, but he ran into his own guy. But Clint Snyder was one of those tight ends that when he got drafted, everyone in the war room, everyone in the league war room moaned a little bit because they all had him on their boards.
Absolutely. The GMs definitely were all coveting Clint Snyder. But you know what? There were some other good rookie tight end play last year. You got to say C.J. Smith for the Brawlers certainly established himself as a #1 tight end. And as we saw, they went ahead and still drafted Bobby Smith. And they're probably going to be running a lot of 12 personnel themselves this year. Sort of like we're seeing the Dukes do early tonight. Maybe that's just to protect some of their key players.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm wondering. That's why I was interested to ask Shelby when he's running, because as you see Juwan Black out there on the covers for pass interference.
Now we've got 1st and goal. Smokey
set. He's going down.
Juwan Black all over the field.
He's going to hit you early, late, and in between. You don't care apparently if it's a pass interference or not, or if he's sacking Smokey Smith. He's going to get in there. You see the speed for the old crafty veteran. Man, what a way to time it. What a way to time the blitz.
Yeah, a little bit of a loop there and just found the lane. And wow, now they're looking at a long 2nd and goal for about the 18-yard line.
This will most likely be the last play we see of the starters and Smokey Smith.
Yep.
And he hands it off.
Well, hey, that was a great first quarter for the starters, Smokey and company. Well, he did take a sack or two. He threw a very nice touchdown to Beecham in the back of the end zone and saw a great interception, self-tipped interception by DeAndre Gregory. Throw those 2s up in the chat if you got them.
Yeah, I just want to say, it's all love. Smokey knows we love him. We will give him crap because he does talk a lot. But that was a good first quarter for the Dukes.
R.J. Ward now 3rd and goal on the run, throwing out and just getting rid of it. live to fight another play. R.J. Ward's going to have the rest of the game here to show what he can do. Another young, talented quarterback. You know, he was a early pick the 0 year, right before Smokey Smith came and kind of shook things up for Albuquerque.
We're going to see. This is where I'm interested to see in this game. The Dukes, obviously, you know, it was a bit of a Cinderella story the way they made it to the Rivals Cup last year. They got hot when they needed to and got in there. But I'm interested to see how their depth is this year, and the Crusaders. They have a great starting defense, but I'll be interested to see the depth of the Crusaders specifically on defense, because we know they don't have a great offense on you know, depth wise. So as we see Kyler Knight coming out here,
hand it off, and whoa, getting stopped. Basically,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the Crusaders just don't really have the depth in there, so this second half could get dirty.
Second half, we're still in the first half, buddy. This is the second quarter. Another handoff out of the gun, a little bit of a draw delay there. Picking up a couple, going to give themselves a 3rd and 5, but still, that's a long 5 yards on 3rd down. They're going with a spread shotgun set here. Single back staying in to protect. Oh, almost picked off right there.
Yeah.
Jerry Adams, it looks like, making the break up there.
The contrast for the Dukes from their home to their away jerseys is pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, another outstanding job on uniforms and fields by the Boiled Frogs, our friends there. As the Dukes are going to come back out here. R.J. Ward gets his first full series, and we'll see what he can do with this Dukes offense, and we're probably going to see a lot more of the one Neo Judkins.
Yeah, and that's what we're all here to see, really, in the second quarter. We're here to see Neo Judkins, and after that, amazing. Oh, and he gets stuffed in the backfield.
Welcome to the league, young man.
But, you know, it'll be interesting to see after, you know, that stellar performance. The Florida State Seminoles in our college league, they were basically the Dukes last year. No one paid them attention. They were kind of quiet. They snuck in there, and then they got loud when they needed to, and they won it all. About, what, 73 of them went into the draft this year?
Yeah, just about. It seems like offense, defense, special teams. Well, I guess not any special teams, but you can littered. The first round was littered with Seminoles. Ooh, Ward throwing way over his head there. They're going to punt it away after getting 2 plays going backwards and then an incompletion. Not a great drive there.
Yeah, and I'd be interested to see. I'm looking right now who the Dukes have as their 3rd string quarterback. My oh my.
Punt end over end, getting returned from around the 15, brought down right at the 20.
Good
and here
point,
comes
good
Kyler
point.
Knight once again. The what's he, a 2nd round draft pick, 3rd round pick, Kyler
I
Knight?
believe, yeah.
Crusaders have certainly going to give him a little bit of rope, but like we said, Gary Pierre was not exactly thrilled through training camp, so hopefully Kyler Knight can show a little something here tonight.
And Kyler Knight, he played for Notre Dame. He took him pretty deep into the playoffs, but you know, when everything's said and done, he comes into the league. He's only a 69 or 70 overall, so the Crusaders are kind of in a deep spot here, trying to get the next guy to play quarterback if they don't go with Landry re-signing.
Yeah, it's a pretty huge drop-off, so you got to wonder how that season's going to play out, or if they're at least going to bring in some competition at some point this season or potentially in the offseason for Columbus, but can't imagine they're going to stick with Landry. This certainly seems to be a little bit of a transition year. Oh, hits him in the hands, but he drops it. That's certainly not a way to endear yourself to your rookie backup quarterback, by dropping one that hits you right in the mitts.
He finally gets a good one out to you, and you drop it.
2nd and 10. Hand it off out of the shotgun. There's a nice healthy run on 2nd down, getting a gain of 7.
Nice little squirt up the middle.
You see Amani Ellison, a kind of waiver wire street free agent, but he's a crafty vet, so the Dukes have plugged him in. Kind of, he's playing all over the secondary. Knight just throwing it away there. Ugh, kind of a wasted 3rd down. They're going to punt it again.
And he just rolled out to the left side, and it looked like none of his receivers went to the left with him.
Looks like he didn't know. Oh, they're going to go for it, because I was going to say, it looked like he didn't want to come off the field, and they're in their own territory here. This is a dangerous call by Gary Pierre. Hands it off, and
They're running up the middle.
And then some. Cross the 50-yard line. That's a huge
What
run
a
there.
play. 4th and 3, everyone looking past, and you go right up the throat.
Gutsy, to say the least.
Jeez, what a play. I like it.
That is confidence from Gary Pierre there. Wow.
And to go back to the Dukes, they do not have a 3rd-string quarterback, so Ward is the guy for the backup.
Running rough shot here. Kind of handing it off to everybody.
Meanwhile, they have 5 halfbacks on their roster.
Well, those things are going to start to sort themselves out as we head closer and closer to the regular season. It's still early.
Absolutely.
There's probably a lot of roster churn still to come for all the teams, I'd imagine.
Yeah, everybody's got to, they got to make that 53-man cut. And it's just gonna get tighter and tighter, as you'll see going into the 2nd and 3rd week. And the teams are going to start as another great run there off the right side tackle.
Well, they're jawing now.
Yeah,
Well, they're finally moving the ball, but it's on the strength of the run. So if scores on 3rd down, they go empty. Trips left. Knight looking. He's got a tight end open. Hits him. First down. Big play there for the Crusaders. He hits the veteran Shane Poole.
And that was set up to go to the tight end the whole time. As the other 2 receivers out of that bunch formation to the top of the screen just shot down the field.
1st and 10. Around the 25-yard line. Play action. Throws it over the middle, and that's complete.
All right, Knight starting to feel it, going over the middle. How appropriate. You got a guy named Knight leading your team.
Yeah.
The Crusaders.
It'd be nice if it worked out, because that's a nice metaphor for him, too.
He's got guys open all day on that left side, and he just has no time to throw it.
And Juan Baker coming back in for a rep. Clean and jerk there. Kyler Knight not happy, losing 7 on that sack, saying Juan Baker's not even supposed to be on the field anymore.
Juan Baker snuck in. He pulled the backup aside and let him get a rep in.
Yeah, said, let me get one. Let me get one real quick on the kid. Knight gets a couple back there, gets 6 back, but they're still looking at 3rd and 11 from around the 15-yard line. Empty formation again. He's got receivers open. Fires, but not to the right guy. That's going to get deflected, broken up by Whitaker, and they are going to be forced to kick the field goal here, which, hey, at least get a couple points on the board. You're here at home, close to halftime, get something.
Absolutely. You just got to get the team, get the momentum going, get the morale up a little bit, get the goose egg off the board.
And it's good. They're on the board now, but certainly they wish that drive had resulted in a touchdown. A little feel-good mojo certainly couldn't have hurt. Oh, got a little bit of, yeah, we've got some players who are struggling to remember so far this preseason that the kickoff rules have changed, and some guys are lining up a little bit incorrectly at times. Remember, here, touchbacks take you to the 20, so that's why we're seeing a lot more guys try to return it out. Stopped at the 25 there, and R.J. Ward's got about 4 minutes and 40 seconds to try to get another score on the board for Albuquerque.
Yeah, and we, like you said, to go into that, our league does not run the new kickoff rules that you see in other leagues. We run the old school, earn your yards on the kickoff returns. Oh, another pick right there. He's got an open field in front of him, and he's tackled at the 5.
Dicky Picky coming all the way down back inside the 5-yard line. Jared Blake saying, no thanks, kid. I got it from here. Almost getting in for the touchdown, but the Crusaders have a chance to even the score right here.
They do not want to rely on Knight in the offense again. You just try to take care of everything right off the bat there. My God, what a play.
Yeah,
now
Blake
got Knight coming in again.
Just jumped that route by Beecham. Beecham kind of softened off the stem of his route there and just let Blake just jump right in the middle, cutting up, almost getting in there. They're now as close as they've been yet. 2nd and goal inside the 5.
And Columbus outnumbered the Dukes right there on the right side on the bottom of the screen, and they ran it, and he cut back up into the middle.
Ooh, stopped in his tracks. Not what they were looking for there.
3rd and goal. They have that tight formation to the top of the screen again. Let's see if they try to hit the tight end.
Got a receiver, intercepted!
Interception on the 1-yard line, and
he might
no
be
one's
gone.
going to catch him.
40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. He's tackled.
Oh, look at the speed. Was that Knight?
Nick Peppers coming in for the interception. Could not get it all the way back. Wow, what a play there.
Who was that with the wheels that caught him? Looked like it was Knight coming back and saving a touchdown on his own interception.
No, it was a receiver. I think it was number 12. We'll have to look that up later, but certainly a big play, big momentum shift there after the Crusaders picked off R.J. Ward. The Dukes pick off Kyler Knight in the end zone, bring it all the way back to the 30, field flipper. Judkins getting caught in the backfield again. He has basically lost yards so far tonight.
Yeah, and it's another one of those things where it'll be interesting to see, maybe these guys get some reps with the starters. As you saw, Judkins did get a couple with the starters earlier, but see what they can do with an actual starting offensive line in front of them.
Yeah, certainly different when the holes are not there for you. A nice shifty juke out, getting 2 yards on that carry. They're looking at 3rd and 11 with 2 minutes left. See if they get a snap off. They probably won't. There we go, 2-minute warning here in the first half. It's a tight one, 10-3. The Dukes leading the Crusaders here at the Castle.
And it's kind of interesting. Anyone that followed the college season last year, they know the quarterback, as he's open in the corner of the field back there, he hits a great corner route aimed at the right side of the end zone hash, right side of the end zone pylon. That was a great pass.
Along the sideline, who makes sure that he's getting both feet in bounds, picking up a big first down there. They've got basically a 1st and 10. They could technically get a first down without scoring, but that'd be hard to do. Let's see what they do. 1st and 10. R.J. Ward getting chased around.
And he's going down again. The 5th sack of the game between the two teams.
Miles Rector, he wrecked him. That is exactly what the Crusaders want. They want that fast, flowing defense, getting after the quarterback, and they've been doing it so far tonight, even though they haven't found their way too high on the scoreboard. They're definitely getting their sacks in as they break up that pass to Beecham over the middle. 3rd and 22. Basically a 3rd and goal here. Let's see what they do if they try to actually get one in the end zone. Ward's got time. He can deliver one if he wants. He is not going to fight
sitting there all day. He's got field. He's got room in front of him.
Oh, not enough space. Good defense by the Crusaders, who are dropping into a soft shell prevent zone coverage there, making sure they had the goal line protected. They're going to keep it close and let Zach Farmer kick a field goal here.
That man started juking Ghost out there as he had nothing but open field in the end zone in front of him. He starts juking and making moves.
Yeah, I just don't think he had the speed.
Great drive there, though.
Getting the return. Stopped around the 11. Got a minute left. Let's see with 2 timeouts what Gary Pierre and Kyler Knight are going to do here. He's got a completion, 6 yards. It's not a ton, but it's enough to keep the ball moving the right direction, which both teams have struggled a little bit with so far tonight back.
Yeah, everybody's having a lot of trouble over the middle with their passing game. Knight just dumps it off again to his running back out there in the flats.
Smart gets it out of bounds, saving a little bit of clock, but they've only got 29 seconds left, so you got to imagine they're going to take some shots here.
Yeah, and the Crusaders don't really have a burner, don't really have a great receiver outside of David Holloway, who's number 14. Ian Orgy's their new speedster. We say, but his speed is only in the 90 to 92 range.
I was gonna say I wouldn't call him a speedster either.
Yeah, and he his college game, that's where he earned his money by getting in those jump balls and in the end zone and stuff. He's only 5'11", but he played on that great Indiana college team as Knight shoots it over the middle again, and that's going to be the first half.
And that is going to do it for our first half here in Columbus at the Castle. Thank you for watching Smashmouth Saturday Night here on Rivals Broadcast Network. The Dukes have got a 10-point lead on Columbus. It away. Return from the 1 out to the 15, and that's probably all she wrote. Let's see what RJ Ward and company got up their sleeve now.
Yeah, and the Dukes, they can just come out right there. Right, this is what I was about to say. Come out in this heavy formation and just let everybody see what Neo can do out there with some blocks. As he's wide open, great play, great hole, and that is Neo Judkins right there. If he can have that all year long, he is going to be a problem for defending teams.
Absolutely.
But just because you were the guy at Florida State on the national championship winning team, you're not the guy in the rookie or in the pro league anymore. So you got to earn that spot, man.
That's right. Everybody's starting over again. But we have seen some impressive performances by rookies so far. Particularly at quarterback, we've seen outstanding starts from both LeBart Vick and then just last night a dynamite preseason opener for Burt Bean.
Yeah, Burt Bean looked good. LeBart Vick III, he looked pretty good. Again, it's only the week one, but he did look pretty good against backups.
I was just going to say, now that we got to see if either coach is confident enough to bump those guys up for week 2 or if they're going to stay in those backup roles so far into the preseason.
Yeah, you would think that you'd want to earn. I mean, I get not wanting to let them play more time and get injured, but if they're not your true starter right now, you got to let them see what they can do.
That's what you drafted them for, right?
Yep.
RJ Ward, meanwhile, dumping one off along the sideline and just short of the first down marker. Great defense. I bet they go for it here. This is pretty advantageous.
Go for it right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Under center. He's got Judkins solo, single back. Does not hand it off. Finds receiver, and it's good for completion. Nice catch, pitch, and catch there.
Yeah, that was the ugliest first down I've ever seen in my life.
But they
got it, and it's all that counts.
That's right.
Those chains are moving.
RJ Ward handing it off to Judkins again, who is just not able to find any daylight. That could be a lack of depth for the Dukes offensive line. Or at least you got to think that fans are hoping because of the lack of depth.
Oh, man, he had all day to throw that.
Wow, Ward gets rocked as he delivers that one. Just a wounded duck. Looks like a normal LeBart Vick pass headed towards the sideline.
I was about to take my LeBart Vick the third shot there with the duck pass.
Ward fires it incomplete. Looks like it was just a little too high, a little too deep on the throw there. That is going to be 4th and 11, but they've got one of the best kickers in the league. As Farmer's lined up to kick it right down the chute. With our new kick cam, we can tell every time that that's good, and it is. They are now up 16-3.
Great drive. Not great drive. That was a decent drive. A lot of mistakes made there. But that's why we're playing the first week of preseason, right?
That's right.
Learn your mistakes, learn your capabilities. Try to mesh with the team a little better because you're not going to really, if you ever get in the game, you're most likely not going to be playing with these backups. So it's kind of just, just letting GMs and coaches and the fans see what you're willing to do and how hard you're willing to play in the backups.
And if you want to know one thing that is maintained so far from last season to this season, it's a tenacious pass rush from the Dukes. Walt Shelby really instilled an aggressive, hostile 4-3 disruptive attack. Ooh, and that time they find him in the backfield for a 5-yard loss. Whitaker making another play here in the second half.
He put his helmet in his spinal cord right there and just denied him anything as he a 5-yard loss.
See Kyler Knight's trying to hurry up and get the play called. He's got time, but now he's flushed out of the pocket. Has to throw it away, looking at a 3rd and 15 as the rookie Marcus Vanette was chasing the rookie Kyler Knight, flushing him out of the pocket.
Yeah, and this defense is looking good.
They get after it, and Albuquerque is Knight.
Middle.
That was a very nice throw by Kyler Knight, but Kennedy not really able to climb the ladder and make a competitive play for the ball.
And that's where Knight made his money at Notre Dame, is taking those deep shots to his I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but he did stay behind. But one of his receivers there was one of the burners that will be in the draft next season. So it'll be interesting to see, if Knight gets playing time, if they do decide to go with him. As we saw, Mexico City Firebirds, the perfect opportunity, perfect example is the Mexico City Firebirds started McKinney this week in the first week of preseason over Truman. Judkins goes
slow there, but yeah, you're right. That's a perfect example of you never know what you're going to get out of some of these GMs and head coaches. They opted to start McKinney. That's the new coach, Gary Crawford, former Brawlers offensive coordinator, now the head man in Mexico City. And yeah, he decided, hey, I've got a vet who's maybe 8 points better than the young kid, but I'm still going with the kid and upside. As Judkins finally finds some daylight for a 9-yard pickup there on first down.
Yeah, it's good to see Judkins wasn't injured too badly that he had to come out of the game. He just comes right back in, and it's a great play.
Ooh, and it looks like they got him to jump. That might be on the offensive line. No, defense, they're going to call the D. Joel Kennard, who's a bit of a pass rush specialist, got a little too excited there to try to get out of his stance and just couldn't help himself, giving them the first down. That's a big one there when you give them the first down with an encroachment.
I was about to say, Kennard's one of those guys, another starter sneaking in there again for a play against the backups.
Well, the Crusaders, unlike some teams, do tend to rotate a lot of their defensive linemen. So you could almost argue none of them are starters and all of them are starters. Judkins trying to find some room, and it looks like, he's just short. It looked like he went over the first down marker, but he was holding the ball behind him, which they're going to mark it where the ball is, not where his body is.
Watch this bunch formation to the bottom of the screen here.
Oh, and they're going to pitch it on the bunch. Nope, they read it all away, and that is a big stop on third down for Columbus.
Great defense. They read, like you said, they read that the entire way.
Yeah, you always got to worry about those toss plays if your back has the speed, and they should have kept Judkins in if they were going to go with the toss play there.
Yeah, I don't understand play call or the staffing on that play. But it is what it is, and now the field rolls up.
Just like that, they are really starting to pull away on the leg of Zach Farmer. I know they'd rather they were punching some touchdowns in, but it's all good practice.
I want to see the backup punter for the Columbus Crusaders come in today. Allen. That would be
Allen with the punt.
He can punt.
Well, right now, Kyler Knight's got a throw because they are down on the scoreboard. 19-3 with 5:25 here in the third quarter. You're watching Smashmouth Saturday Night. And that DeBose getting nailed in the backfield by Jerry Adams. Jerry Adams is one of those guys that could start for a lot of teams, and he is basically the 3-linebacker backup. He's the 4th linebacker, essentially, regardless of position. Knight puts another one up, but little miscommunication with the receiver. It looked like he was trying to find Marvin Wilson down the sideline, but they just seem to not be on the same page. That's going to happen week 1 preseason with a rookie.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, shout out to everyone watching tonight on the preseason game. This is it's for us to knock off the dust. It's been a while since we've done a Smashmouth Saturday Night game. And these players are knocking off the dust and the rust also. So as you see a scuffle starting out on the field. But shout out to everybody that's watching tonight. Especially you guys are the true fans that are out here watching the preseason guys going through it. And a lot of you guys are out here on as the backups.
That's right. They just watched Kyler Knight with a big scramble for a first down. Not usually part of Knight's repertoire, but whatever you got to do. Oh, man, he was trying to hit the honey hole, just squeezing it in between the safety and the corner, but could not find the receiver. You got to wonder if he had a starting receiver out there, if he would have connected on that shot.
Maybe even just a taller receiver as he had the screen set up and he shoots it out to the left side. And that's a great catch out there for the first down.
Knight is showing exactly why they like him so much and why they decided he was worthy of being drafted where he was there in the, you know what, I was actually wrong. He was a 4th-round pick, if you can believe it. Kyler Knight playing like a 2nd-round pick, but he was a 4th-rounder.
Yeah, Skip, sorry, I meant to tell you, I went back and looked at the draft order earlier, and we got sidetracked by some scoring, finally. But yeah, he was not a 2nd-round draft pick.
I think that's probably more where we had him projected, and some GMs disagreed, clearly, but he's playing his heart out right now, and you got to wonder, is he going to show enough with all these backups in here? Are they going to judge him based on what's actually happening or where it could have ended up if he had some better talent around him?
Yeah, and this Columbus was an interesting spot that he fell to. We'll see what he's able to do. The way Landry's been playing, he might have to be the starter sooner than later, like we said earlier in the game.
Yeah, Landry also very risk inclined. Landry ended up missing a few games last season due to some random injuries that popped up, mostly as a result of his sort of aggressive play style. So it's very plausible that no matter what, we're going to see at least a couple starts this season from Kyler Knight unless Landry suddenly cleans up that gambler approach that he's known for. And after so many years playing football, they kind of are who you are.
Yeah, and they play in the Apex North, so they play the Canton Crush twice, the Pittsburgh Prowlers twice, and the Omaha Railstorm twice. With the Railstorm probably having the least troublesome of the defenses against those other teams.
But even so, it seems like the entire division took a step forward with their offseason between free agency and the draft. I wonder if the Crusaders are going to be on the outside looking in of this division, just based purely on the acquisitions of the Crush and the Prowlers, who are 2 user GMs who just had outstanding free agency and drafts.
I mean, Kai Latham and Bo Bubba Williams, that's 2 names to know from the draft for that division specifically.
Forrest Hawkins did as well, another first-rounder for the Prowlers.
Good play right there for the first down. As Knight is struggling, Ward is coming into his own out there with his receivers.
Absolutely. R.J. Ward has the talent. He could be a guy that other teams looked at, but it seems like he's firmly in the number 2 spot here in Albuquerque behind Smokey Smith, who is certainly enjoying his time on the sideline tonight, as that is it for the 3rd quarter here in Columbus at the Castle. It is all Albuquerque. Get your 4s up in the chat, and if you pay close attention, Commish may even throw out some points at the end of this game. Second and 10 for R.J. Ward under center. Single back. Hands it off to Judkins, trying to find space, but again, the line just cannot find room for it.
Yeah, the Duke's offensive line does not seem like it's able to get these stretch and toss plays going. They need to just give the ball to Judkins up the gut and let him see what he can do. As you see right there, perfect.
Just like that, yeah, absolutely. Trying to get a little cute when you've got guys who may not even make the team, blocking for a guy that you hope is going to be part of the future of the team. So not always a great fit. And again, similar to Kyler Knight, can you really judge Neo Judkins on the performance so far tonight? Or do you have to kind of see a little bit more of them playing with some better talent and supporting cast around them?
Well, I thought that, but then I started looking at the roster, and the Crusaders only have 5 receivers. So at least 2 or 3 of these receivers are starters that are still in the game right now anyway. So it's kind of hard to judge Knight because he's got the rookie and the backup offensive line blocking for him. But his receiving crew that's out there is almost what would be in the starting of the game anyway.
Almost, but you're not seeing any of
Holloway
or Ian Orji, really. So you're looking at Moss and Chisholm and Marvin Wilson. And, certainly a drop-off. Really, Holloway's the guy you want to see, but isn't Holloway who we saw go in the tunnel earlier?
He was, yes. He got injured early in the game, so we don't even know if he'll be back for the regular season.
Yeah, so Crusaders certainly, like we said, maybe at the bottom of the Apex North right now, and Kyler Knight learning the tough way here tonight on Smashmouth Saturday Night. Knight again, 3rd and 10, intercepted just like that.
Another Oski, jeez.
Cannot get it, but that is another interception. Will Whitaker having a really strong showing tonight.
I want to give a shout out to a player. He had a great preseason first game, rookie game today. That was Billy Ray Bannon for the Anchorage Ice Pack. Just a shout out to him. Great game. Another good rookie that I wanted to spotlight while we were here tonight. If you didn't watch their game, go watch it today. We have games on Saturday morning, and they go for 3 or 4 hours, depending on how many go. And we have some great games today.
Yeah, Bannon had himself 9 tackles and a half a sack.
In one quarter.
Yeah, basically in one quarter. So really playing all over the field, and that's exactly why they drafted him in the 1st round. They hand off to Judkins, trying to find space, but again, when the defense is already in the backfield by the time you get the ball, that is a difficult spot to be in.
Yeah, this is rough watching, but somehow Ward has this team cranking.
Well, if you consider field goals cranking, then they are cranking.
10 points. Oh, he's touchdown. There you go.
Touchdown right there, right as whenever we call him out. And that's the rookie TJ Jackson out of TCU, I believe.
I believe so, yes. And that was a gimme right over the middle, wide open touchdown.
But hey, you still got to complete the gimmies. You still got to get it there. They still got to catch it. And you see two rookie receivers for the Dukes with Jackson and Sam Cross, which I think they're hoping both of those guys can have a future here for this team. But the Dukes really stocked up in the draft as well. We were talking about the Apex North with a great draft and free agency. The Dukes might have had some of the best free agency and draft offseason of the entire league.
Yeah, almost every one of the teams that have a user GM they all had pretty good drafts this season. So free agency work was a lot heavier for Albuquerque, and they had a lot more help in there. They did a really good job. Walt Shelby's doing a great job. You see in the chat, Absalom Hill will be showcasing his talents in Rivals one day. He is I don't know if he's a freshman off the top of my head, but taking a shot downfield, and he finally almost connected, but he didn't. But it's a shame he wasn't here last year with Ben Linder and Yaboa and that Indiana playoff team who ran deep. Another interception.
And this one
is
going
to be a touchdown.
Jerry Adams getting the sticky, picky 60. That's a
big linebacker. That's a big pick 6 right there.
That's right, Jerry Adams. He could absolutely, like I said, be started for so many teams in the league, but he is linebacker number 4 here in Albuquerque, but they love him, so doubt he's going anywhere.
Yeah, that's just a great play. Again, like we were talking about earlier, these preseason weeks are all about finding your depth and your backups and who you can put in substitutions and sub packages and play packages. And trust me, all of these user GMs are doing that right now as we're going through the preseason. They're finding out who they can put where.
That's right.
That young man right there just showed what he can do out there at outside linebacker, pass cover.
Now, if you want to keep up with the league as much as you possibly can, make sure to check us out at League HQ. That's rivalspro.leaguehq.io. And you can find everything from your favorite players, your favorite teams, even the schedule. Saw somebody asking, Chartez Johnson asking, who does Chicago go against next week? Well, Chartez, they're playing the Houston Hoplites next week with two premier blue-chip rookie players, LeBart Vick and Heisman-winning Keon Hunter.
But screw all that. We want to see Buck McCarthy for Chicago play 2 full quarters.
Oh, Kyler Knight
finally connect off the left sideline.
It looks like a tight end down the seam.
Yeah, Buck McCarthy had to have been like the gem of the draft last year out there for Chicago at quarterback. You know, not really having quarterbacked at Oklahoma, made it to the national championship, got embarrassed by Michigan 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, we called that.
Then,
that was a meltdown. 5 interceptions in the Natty. Then he goes, in the 3rd round in the draft, and basically plays like an all-pro.
If he would have had a solid offense around him, they would have made the playoffs and ran deep. But just the season he had, wheeling that team as good as they did, they're going to be a fun team to watch this season.
As Kyler Knight is coming alive on this drive, he's hitting 4th-string tight end Jason Slater, making some big catches. He had that big catch earlier down the seam that really flipped the field position for him. And Kyler Knight still slinging it. Getting chased now. Rory rifles it deep, but out of back in the end zone. Good for him.
Yeah, I love seeing a lot more of these teams start to go back to running like 4-3 and big nickel style defenses.
Absolutely.
Not relying on the 3-4 speed anymore. Trying to just overpower and rush the quarterbacks up the line of scrimmage.
Trying to flip it back there on the screen, but he sniffed it out. Whitaker having himself quite the game. Actually, I think that was the fullback screen they were going for.
It was somebody slipped out of the backfield right there off to the left side.
3rd and 11. About 7:30 left in this game. Ian Orgy making an appearance. As Knight fires it downfield towards Ian Orgy, but
he tried to connect with Orgy. Yeah, that was a bad decision.
Yeah, he was trying to, he's trying to make a play after so many interceptions so far. But, I think Kyler Knight, even with the interceptions, I think he's still acquitting himself all right here tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely playing higher than that overall ranking that he came out of the draft with. But that's football rivals, right? If you get in the right team and you get in the right scheme, and your coaches and your GMs put you in a position to win, you'll win. I mean, this is no shot to the Dukes, but look at the Dukes last year. They were not a great team, and they made it to the Rivals Cup.
8-9. That is maybe an all-time record that will be hard to beat for any team.
Yeah, I mean, 8-9 is that's not a good season. That's a losing season, and you made the
And
Rivals
finally,
Cup.
Judkins breaks out, showing his ability to bend the edge.
If they show this replay, watch what he does, though. He's got great ball carrier vision as he goes off the right side, kind of juked to the inside like he was going to cut. Oh, they don't show it. He looked like he was going to cut off his tight end's block, and then he just bounced it out to the outside. That was great running by Judkins.
I think both teams just playing a little bit more free here towards the end of the game. Everybody's starting to feel a little bit more settled in.
Heavy set to the bottom of the screen and then run it to the right. Good play up the gut for about 8 or 9 yards, and that's a first down. Another injury.
Ooh, that's not good.
Is that their safety Holmes or the?
Oh, he's limping off. That is not what they wanted there. Yeah, it was Tracy Holmes. He's their nickel cornerback, actually. Another one of Judkins.
Judkins up the gut, man. Just let him go. 79 yards, almost all in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Yeah, I see Grumpy Nerd shout out there, part of the Boiled Frogs team. Of course, loving the Dukes rebranded colors. We haven't really talked much about that. The Dukes were one of the teams to really undergo one of the largest redesigns from year one. 2nd and 9, handing off. He's got space, and he's up, down, deep into the open. brought down around the 20-yard line. All of a sudden, a couple big runs for Judkins, and he is well over 100 yards just like that.
Sorry, I just got knocked out of my chair from that play. Finally cutting off the left side and making a play. And that is the one.
Showing exactly why they drafted him, a first-round talent. Unbelievable that he fell so far. And they are just going to run this thing into the ground here now.
Yeah, but that's, to go with what you just said, I'm not saying you're not, because everyone knows. But that's what I love about our draft, is everyone drafts for what they really need. As they do an RPO off to the right side, and Ward showing his little 7.0 speed off to the right side and rumbles for a first down.
Yeah, Ward's got a little wiggle to him.
But a lot of the teams, they actually, they draft what they really need, and because everybody would have loved to have grabbed Neo Judkins.
Yeah, that's true. There was 3 kind of premier running backs, and I think most people assumed they were all going to go in the first round, and Judkins just barely went in the first round, and then Bigsby fell right outside to that pick right there at the top of round 2.
Yeah, Bigsby's probably the one that I really want to see what he does this season. As he played an underrated role out there at Oklahoma for 2 full seasons. He was part of that meltdown team that made the Natty, and he had a receiver open off the left seam over there.
Yeah, I think the only thing with Bigsby is he just lacks top-end speed, but they say he's been working on that all throughout camp, and little by little, they think they've improved his short area quickness, which is really what they're talking about. They don't need him to be a burner because they have Ronnie Leak, but he is a great receiving threat. And they certainly said they do not want Ronnie Leak to have the number of carries he did last year because Leak's getting older and they've got Luke Lindsay and Bigsby there.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to definitely be an interesting player to see what he does this season. And Kylan Hunter, he kind of had an undervalued role, or a suppressed role, or talk going into the draft. After winning the Heisman.
I was going to say, it's the Heisman.
After winning the Heisman, and it's just because Michigan had their own meltdown, after winning the Natty last season, 2 seasons ago. This season, they had their own little meltdown as they were just looking like the team to beat, and then lost the conference championship to Indiana, and then they lost their first playoff game, or the second playoff game.
The team was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the Indiana team came out of nowhere. They were not on anybody's radar until the playoffs hit.
Oh, Kyler Knight's got just a little bit of time left, and he refuses to go quietly. He hits Shane Poole in the hands. Kyler Knight is showing some excellent placement, even with those earlier interceptions. They're just not catching them for him. Too bad. I think Kyler Knight's stat line at the end of the game is going to look much worse than he actually played.
Yeah, and that's, the guys that are watching this game, the GMs that are actually scouting, and specifically the coaches and GMs for the teams involved. As you see, Judkins has 0 touchdowns. I saw him in the chat earlier talking about, don't take my TD. But, everybody knows that Knight's actually playing a lot better than his stat sheet's going to show at the end of the game.
And, hey, get those interceptions out of the way in the preseason.
Absolutely. Nothing counts right now, stats-wise.
We are probably pretty close to wrapping this one up. They're just going to milk the clock here. It's been really a one-sided drubbing. Clearly the backup depth for the Nexus Conference champion Dukes is far superior to the backup depth for the Columbus Crusaders.
Yeah, and for everybody still in the game, hit me with #Rivals right now, and I'll get you an extra 200 credits to your account. And those will be needed this year as the upgrade capabilities, or upgrade availabilities, and injury buybacks are full-fledged this season.
Absolutely.
Great game.
Absolutely, and that was our kickoff for Smashmouth Saturday Night here in the preseason. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for joining. And back, any thoughts to go out on?
No, man, it was great to be back. It's great to knock the rust off, like I said earlier. And I look forward to a lot more of these as we hit the regular season coming up.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a fantastic first Saturday night special. We've got them coming at you all season long here on Football Rivals. It's your boys in the booth, Commissioner Matt. I'm Skip Lloyd, and we'll catch you next week.